everybody. How you all doing today? Welcome to our YouTube channel. We are the Common Sense Sisters. My name is Yo-Yo.
My name is Ella.
To all the returning Common Sense Squad, welcome back. We appreciate you for coming back again. And to the new squad members, those who recently subscribed, welcome to the Common Sense Sisters YouTube channel.
Yes.
All right. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please click on the red button down there. Subscribe.
It's free.
It's free. Share the video afterwards. Leave the comments in the comment section after you have finished watching the video.
The whole video. You have to watch the whole video today.
That's just common sense instruction.
And
give the video a thumbs up and make sure you share it. This is an edu series. It's educational topic.
Yes.
Very difficult for us to talk about this, but it's the right thing we have to do.
We have to educate you all and educate ourselves.
Exactly.
Talk about these issues, you know.
So, as you can see from the thumbnail, the topic of today,
we're going to be talking about rape culture in Nigeria.
Exactly.
And we're going to start from the genesis of it all. So there's sexual violence.
Exactly.
And, sexual violence comes in different forms. It can be in the physical contact or without physical contact. Verbal contact or whatever. So an example of physical act could be rape,
molestation,
catcalling. All this sort of catcalling is
when you
sexual harassment.
Yes.
So it's not a physical something. It's something that is done to somebody. Voyeurism, sharing people's naked images online and
flashing. So like displaying your organs.
Your genitals to somebody.
In public.
Or spying on people that are naked. Voyeurism. These are all different forms of sexual violence. Sexual violence is about power and force. It is always about the abuser.
And
it's never the victim's fault.
It's never the victim's fault.
It's about power and force. We have to establish that fact. And today, under this umbrella of sexual violence, we're talking about rape and rape culture in Nigeria. And because of the recent happenings of, the past month,
it's becoming too rampant.
It's too rampant.
Where there are statistics that have shown that
how many people are victims of rape or child molestation? They can't even come out to speak about it. When they come out, they are victimized, they are blamed, they are questioned, they are talked down on. Sometimes they are forced to relive their trauma over and over again.
Horrible.
And we've said to ourselves, we have to talk about this thing and talk about the rape culture in Nigeria. And rape culture is defined as a society or an environment whose prevailing social attitudes have the effect of normalizing or trivializing sexual assault and abuse. The Nigerian society is a perfect example of that.
Where this thing is happening. Now, according to, this was what I was trying to look for on my phone while scrolling, according to UNICEF study in 2014, and I quote, violence against women is a daily reality in Nigeria, where 25% of girls have experienced sexual violence before the age of 18. Compared to 10% of boys who have experienced the same thing.
So you see, it's both sexes.
It's both sexes that experience the same thing.
And both sexes perpetrate the crime. Men commit acts of violence, women commit acts of violence
too.
And the victims are also men and women. But in the vast case, women suffer more. Women are more victims and men are more perpetrators. That's what the statistics shows.
Right?
That's just the mere fact. And Nigeria's rape culture is always about victim blaming and forgiveness of the abuser.
Define victim blaming.
Victim blaming occurs when somebody comes out and says, this harm has been done to me, they were molested or they were raped, or this thing was done to them.
They were taking advantage of.
You blame them. You ask them, what are you wearing?
Where were you?
Where were you?
What time?
Who is this person to you? What's your place? Those are examples.
Did you do something to arouse this person? That's victim blaming, and it's evil. It's wrong.
And don't think that we are just coming here and talking about this in just because of that. We've done our research, and also we've received some sexual violence awareness training. So we're saying this thing from facts and things that we've seen. So rape culture in Nigeria is a breeding space for abusers.
Yes.
People that commit crime and they go scot-free.
It enables them because they want little or no consequences to be done to the abuser. You don't ask about the welfare of the victim or the survivors. You don't ask them. You don't ask, can they get counseling help? psychotherapy help? Can they take their case to the police, right to report? Can they get an
what can be done to help to protect them? That's not the first thing.
Many of them don't ask about protection of the victim. Many of them don't. You blame and excuse and look for and most of them they look for apologies. They look for how to protect the identity of the abuser. Terrible.
They don't even care about the identity of the victims.
Even when you are speaking up for the protection and privacy of the victim,
people say you are doing too much. You are doing too much
because you are doing the right thing.
Because you are doing the right thing. How does that even make sense? A country that cannot protect her own, a country that beats down the most vulnerable. What can you say?
That's a
about such a place? That's that gives voice to the abusers and steals the voice of those already victims.
And another thing is that some people who are victims, instead of them to come and join the voices to speak up against this, some of them,
you join to be enablers. You join the abusers. You say, oh, if there's no evidence, then how can we know? Although in my time it happened to me, I didn't have evidence, but these are just my experience I'm talking about.
They say things like that.
How can you say that?
What were some of the examples we read last year online? That there was this father that lives in the East. He impregnated his 2 daughters, biological daughters.
His wife was aware that he was already abusing and raping their daughters.
She was aware. She was covering it.
She was covering to save her marriage. See, you love your husband so much, and you watch your man violate your daughters.
It was until their brother, the girls, their elder brother, found out that he raised alarm.
And this man, the father that was raping the daughters, had the audacity to curse the son. They beat him.
They beat him up.
They beat him.
I'm telling you, community justice.
Yeah,
that's evil.
What kind of
evil?
wickedness
that man's
is that?
wife is a rape apologist.
So we should now blame her daughters and say it's your fault that your father is behaving this way.
Terrible. There's this one also happened last year to that young lady. Yes, she went to church, to go and study. And there's nothing wrong with that. I did that when I was in school.
In the safest of all places, still, women are violated, raped and murdered. I mean, Ini was alive last week. By this time last week, Ini was alive now. What did Ini do wrong? Ini went to seek for a job. And the so-called job giver, Udwak, raped and killed her.
Oh!
Ini did everything right.
As a Nigerian
citizen. She sought for a job. 26-year-old girl.
Hard-working girl.
She's finished with school.
Waiting for NYSC to go for service.
Yes. She told her friend and sister where she was going to, gave them the number. You know, when they always tell women in Nigeria, make sure you do all these things make sure you do this to avoid getting raped, to avoid getting killed. Let me tell you, the solution to end of rape and end of murder is stop raping women.
Yes.
Stop molesting.
And those that have perpetrated the act, there must be justice.
There has to be justice. Yeah, and some Nigerians have this silly attitude of saying, let's forgive them. No. They don't know what they're doing. They were possessed. It is devil's business. It is devil's fault.
If you do the crime, you must do the time.
There is nothing like forgiveness under the law. Justice has to take its course. I mean, justice cannot even reverse the harm that has been done. Or if the person has been killed, no amount of justice will bring that person back. So the only thing that the law can do and people can do is to make sure that these people are rotting in jail, in prison, with the most difficult type of sentence, where they will spend the rest of their life for taking another human being's virtue, stealing something from them, or for killing them. There's nothing like forgiveness under the law. The most you will get is pardon. And that's when you've probably done some time and you've shown some good behaviors. This is for certain cases, of course.
Can you imagine?
That attitude of forgiveness? Something
it's a ridiculous thing.
Oh God, say
you will put the victim through hell and say, repeat your story again. Repeat your story again. And they don't want to talk.
Then you force them. Tell me now. Tell me. Or they confide in you and you use it against them.
You go and blast it.
What kind of evil and wickedness is this?
Then those of you that perpetrate it on children.
Then you have media companies, giant media companies in Nigeria releasing the videos of all these wicked, evil things. Why would you do that?
Why?
Why would you do that?
That's a crime.
Why would you do that kind of evil?
That's a crime. That is a crime.
Harming
it's
the
disgraceful.
Over and
it's
over
despicable.
and over.
It's disgraceful and it's despicable. See, there is I was reading from BBC. It's following the case of what happened to Uwa last year. May her soul rest in peace. The lady that was abused sexually in church. She went to studio and they killed her afterwards. With fire extinguisher. They killed the girl. This lady is also talking or shared her story, and I'm reading it from BBC. The lady said that when she was a child, she was under 6 years of age. Her nanny was abusing her. Her nanny was a middle-aged woman who forced on her repeatedly to have oral sex on her when they were alone. That is a nanny that's supposed to be taking care of a child. Two females, so. Then she summoned up courage when she got to the age of 6 to first out, restrain and tell her, I'm going to report it to my parents. And you know what the nanny did? She said the nanny poured a bucket full of hot water on her. The bucket of water left her in excruciating pain. She said, and I quote, I had to be taken to the hospital and I missed a year of school.
Oh my goodness.
She said the nanny told her parents it was an accident, and so fearing for her safety, she did not say anything more at that time. Evil. Now, this same lady sharing her story on BBC, we are going to leave the link in the description box for you to go and read. The lady also said she was a victim of rape for a second time. She said she was 21 years old at the time. She was in her second year of university and recovering from a recent surgery. She recalls that she was raped by a physician who made an excuse to take her to his house for an appointment instead of a medical center. She said, and I quote, he tore off my clothes and raped me, she said. And I quote, I was weak from the surgery and could do little to resist him. I quote, as she said, I did not go to the police or anyone for that matter. I did not even know that rape cases were to be reported to the police. That's part of failure on the Nigerian system.
That cannot protect the victim. That cannot protect the victim.
And according to this BBC report, they say Nigeria is a tough place to convict a rapist. Listen, listen clearly. This is not a question of saying
so many rape apologists.
Because there are so many.
And evil. Yes, sir. Wicked human beings roaming the streets. And when you see people like Iyabojo and other women in Nigeria that are calling out, for justice, you have the nerves to go in their comments or be shouting, you are making too much noise, you don't do too much. Is it you that it happened to? What are you gaining from this matter?
Say another thing that we talked about, toxic African culture. That video, you should have watched it. They said some reasons why these useless abusers go unpunished is that sometimes some victims and their families, they fear stigmatization. Stigmatization that they will say, you're from this family.
Or some people, yes, they will be repairing. That's the girl that was raped now. How can you be identifying a whole human being?
By what they did not cause for themselves.
How dare you? How dare you?
They said they also, according to this report, it also says that either the families and the victims are afraid of stigmatization or police extortion or lack of trust in the judicial process, which means that justice is hard to come by. They choose not to report the cases to the authority. And you know what happened? Those people become more victims.
They are more victims.
You can have 20 pain, victims, trauma.
One abuser.
And some of all these people will go ahead, they will procreate, they will transfer the victim and the trauma, and it will be going like that. Because it's suppressed by society, it's suppressed by their family, it's suppressed by the judicial system, it's suppressed by the police.
The person is in a box where they covered every access to air. And they are just choking and poking you. And if you hear all these stories, you hear similar things. When somebody tells you they're a victim of this, or somebody comes out with their story, you start hearing weird things that we call, or it's called rape myth. Rape myth they are the prejudicial stereotypes and false beliefs about sexual assault, rapists, and rape victims. They often serve as an excuse for sexual aggression, create hostility towards victims, and bias criminal prosecution. Examples of rape myth. Oh, if you don't go to a boy's house, he will not rape you. Somebody has told me this thing before.
And it's Anela that said this.
Somebody has told me this thing before. Is the man, the boy I'm going to visit, are they a beast that they cannot control themselves, or they cannot accept what they mean as no? Or you can't just visit somebody. How can you say that? If you don't wear this kind of short skirts, nobody will come and look for you.
What about those children that they defiled them?
Hey, what will you say?
There was one that happened sometime in Nigeria some years ago. It was a child defiled by her teacher. And she told her mother, and the mother fought for justice.
Abi, what will you say about Don Davis and the mom? Don Davis' mother that has been fighting since
for justice.
This year that case. Yes. People were trying to suppress that woman online after her child was molested in that secondary school.
So even
victim blaming. Victim blaming. Even when the children, because the students in that school are also children.
You that you are a parent, your child will come and open up to you. You will tell them.
You will tell them, don't say.
You are a useless parent.
You know that your child is abusing potentials,
and you
enable it.
You are a wicked person.
You should be in prison.
You should be in prison.
Rotting for the rest of your wretched life.
A wicked person.
That's it now. Or you say, if you go to this place and you can't get raped now. Abi did not go to church. Did she expect that kind of thing?
Abi in the house where this other survivor told that story. Was
nanny that they employed, they are paying you to.
The man that did those things to his two daughters, is he not inside the house?
Where is this? Where is not safe? Another rape myth. You think that the abuser is somebody that you don't know, that it's always fine. It will be somebody in an alley. No. Statistics and people's stories have shown that it's usually somebody that is close to you. Could be the uncle, could be the auntie, could be the house girl, the lesson teacher, even a parent. So when people come out and tell their stories in their own time that they choose, it is not your responsibility to question them or ask them what they were wearing or how they were behaving. Or some people even think that in intimate relationships you can't get raped or get violated. You can. So consent is this drives us to our topic on consent. I think we're talking about rape apologists. People that they hate. We've trashed that one out. People that always want to blame the devil for your evil deeds. Your evil action. Season out of this. Nigerians pray a lot. They say, deliver us from all evil, oh Lord. As I'm going out, I don't want to meet evil. But evil is in the human form.
Let me quote these statistics. We will put it up there. You know, the source is from Nigeria Bureau of Statistics. Sexual offenses in Nigeria are 2017, and I quote, 2,279 reported cases of rape and indecent assault. Then you have 1,164 reported cases of unnatural offenses, that is like anal sex. 0 convictions reported by the police. No justice. 0. Then they say one state out of 36 reported no cases of indecent assault. Is this this is from the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, so you can see it there. What a shame.
You have some people that come and spiritualize this thing.
What are you spiritualizing?
Now devil enter his body. It's not him that he was not acting of his own free will. Evil is evil. You cannot spiritualize something that happened with somebody's cautious physical behavior.
Of course.
By exhibiting that physical behavior, they must be physically punished.
They are responsible for that action.
Leave it to God.
Which God?
God sees all things. He will fight your battle.
No way.
What do you mean? Forgive and forget. God says we should forgive.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who do you think you are?
So that you can cover the shame of the abuser. You're a wicked person.
Or cover the family. We don't want our family to be known as this.
So wicked person.
We don't want to. They know that it's your uncle that did this thing. And what will people say? You make victims and survivors to relieve their traumas. As we're talking about consent, my dear. Consent is permission for something to happen or an agreement to do something. Now, when it comes to sexual things, there's something called informed consent. You want to define that?
Informed consent is permission granted in the knowledge of the possible consequences and risks and benefits.
Bam, that's it.
The person has to be cautious.
Has to know everything
male
that is
or
going
female.
on. Male or female. And we're talking about sexual informed consent right now.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about. It has to be ongoing.
Yes.
If, for example, a sexual partner has STD, you have to tell the person that you're about to sleep with, have sex,
that you have
this disease. They have to be consciously aware. And every step of the way, there has to be consent. And let me tell you, silence is not consent. So those of you that be waiting for somebody to say no. Silence, they did not tell you a verbal yes. They did not give you go ahead.
Don't do anything.
Consent. And its consent can be withdrawn at any time. Meaning, if a lady or a man, they are getting in sexual intercourse and they are kissing,
and they say no.
If they say no is enough, it's enough. There is nothing, whether they're in a relationship or not. Consent, informed consent is very vital and essential. You cannot, who are you to violate somebody and think you can go scot-free?
Come and tell me that,
have the thoughts.
You were drinking alcohol.
Every day they will be preparing women. How not to get violated? How about stop violating?
Exactly. How about teach the men? The people who are abusers, teach them. The abuser, they should stop it.
They should stop it. Let those that have been caught or that are doing it,
exactly.
Let them be rotting in prison. They are way to go. If they want to receive treatment in prison, let them receive the treatment in prison.
The male and the female abusers, they should be the one that should be prosecuted. You have no right over any other person's body.
Do you remember that BBC documentary, Sex for Grades? A girl will be
in Nigeria. If you have not watched it, go and watch it.
They will say they will not. Your professor will want to sleep with you before they give you
useless.
Your sperm. What kind of
and then when you say no, they want to threaten your life.
Even if you are stiff there, God forbid, there's a video and somebody releases a useless video. They will say, and the person was enjoying it because they did not say, what kind of wicked, what kind of animals think like this? Because
we can't understand though. As we said before, that where there is power imbalance / power system, like in a workplace,
you can't give
consent. Can't be given.
Yeah.
A child can never give consent.
A child can never. Anybody that is below 18, we don't care about what the age of consent is in Nigeria because with the years say they fluctuate.
I don't care what
change. Anybody that's under 18
can never give consent for sexual activity. Never.
In a workplace where there is power imbalance, like you were saying, a boss, a manager, cannot be having sexual relations with the secretary or with the subordinates because there's power imbalance.
Of course.
There's power imbalance.
Of course.
It's common sense.
Of course.
That relationships do not occur in the workplace. Consent has to be ongoing.
Yes, so
it cannot be forced or coercive or coerced. It can be withdrawn at any time.
Just a little illustration. There will be a video that we will play for you with the rights to that video on this screen and also in the description for you to watch.
For you to watch. Very simple. Very simple. Consent is clear.
Now you have seen the video. Consent is clear. It's common sense. So somebody doesn't want coffee, you are forcing it. You are forcing it. You are forcing it. That's abuse.
It's informed.
That's abuse.
My goodness.
So now Nigeria in the news for wrong reasons. How can they tell me now, as a Nigerian young lady, I cannot feel safe?
As
or
even
my cousins that are in Nigeria cannot feel safe.
Female cousins cannot feel safe.
Male cousins too
cannot feel safe. I mean, if you see evil, call it evil. Say what it is, regardless of the person's social. Which one
and
is
nonsense? And then you be quoting religion, be quoting Bible,
quoting nonsense. You say, oh, these people they just want to bring down this person's career.
What career can be greater than
somebody's right to their body, somebody's innocence? How can you violate somebody in the most intimate and wicked way? And so go as far as killing the victims. How do you expect us to process this thing in our mind? Please.
And they said, according to this article from the BBC I'm reading, the lady who spoke about her experience, right? She said that she often talks about her experience. That's a very bold survivor. She often talks about her experience in order to help other rape survivors. She says victims often find brick walls at the hospitals, police stations, and courts where they are supposed to get justice. And the penalty for rape in Nigeria is up to 14 years in prison. But I have seen a judge sentence someone to just 4 years with 2 years suspended because he was young and had a life in front of him. And I quote, that's what she said in this thing. What about the victim whose life is adversely affected?
Forever they have to remember. They might be acting some way.
Trauma.
They don't even know why, but they remember all
those
things.
Of you that are in the house now, look at your household. Look at your wife. Look at your
husband, look at your children. Begin to, you need to sit
one
down
of
and have
the
these
brave
serious
people that came out
conversations.
to Nigeria to tell their stories in 2019. That's a woman that, because of her, people
movements, voices, women said they're feeling that they could be heard.
And even when the husband Timi Dakolo was wanting to get justice, you see how the police people were trying to threaten him.
Hey, you all don't do it. It's enough now. We've heard. Why did they take so long? Who are you? Who are you to tell me when it is my time to speak? Hey? Some parents, you will not educate your children and tell them, teach them about their body parts. Tell them nobody should touch you. Nobody should tell you this. Nobody should make this kind of comments towards you.
Exactly.
If they do it, tell me. You have to be there to defend them. You are intentional parenting. So do you think you just go and give birth, plenty children up and down, but you are not ready? You are not ready. You don't have what it takes.
There's another one that happened in the capital in 2019.
In Abuja?
Yes, in Abuja. Some ladies who were arrested during a police raid accused
of prostitutes.
They accused the police of raping them. They said that the police accused them of being sex workers, and while they were at the police station, they were repeatedly raped by the officers. Shame on you if you are those officers.
It's a pure water sachet that they used to rape them.
That case is still in court. I don't even know what it
does. God of mercy, God of mercy. We have to really look at our behavior. We have to change this toxic culture towards this rape culture in Nigeria. It's very, very bad and toxic, and it's brooding. And people that are passing through so much pain. You see many people that are aggressive in the country that people are walking traumas.
Yes,
some
people
don't even know.
They are fighting
some people don't even know. Some people might have forgotten the memory of the abuse done to them, but they know deep down.
When somebody starts talking about their story, then it triggers something.
Triggers them.
And according to this report, they said that the cases of rape-related cases, they were receiving 4 to 7 cases per day, and 70% of them were related to rape during the pandemic.
Per day. Can you imagine? Husbands will be raping their wives. Why would you do that? They will be molesting children. What if somebody as young as 2 years? They will know they've been violated. So parents will not praying the memory away. When you need to be giving them, we need to take these people for counseling, lifetime therapy. Lifetime therapy. You have to.
It is important that we learn what they call real empathy.
Real empathy. You have to really,
especially for survivors.
When a victim or a child that is a victim that doesn't even know what's going on, they come to you. Why will you hush them? Don't say that about this pastor. Don't say that about this your uncle. How dare you?
Don't say that about your auntie.
You slap them. Don't say that about your auntie. How dare you? Or they will come and ask you questions out of curiosity. You don't know why they're asking you. Hush them. What will it profit you?
Your ego. You're after what will people say. When you are supposed to be a protector in the land, you police officer in Nigeria, you're supposed to protect the victims. You will not do it.
How many times will Nollywood raise awareness?
You judge and lawyers, they will be bribing you. You will sell your rights. You went to school, you suffer to get your qualification.
You sacrifice
somebody's life for your pockets.
How many times will Nollywood act on this film? Look at Alter Ego by Omotola Jelade.
Yes, Alter Ego.
You have to watch that movie. Look at Wives on Strike.
Those are educational Bollywood movies.
The people are not aware. Their ignorance is not an excuse
at all.
Now we are educating you.
If you are hiding it, you are abusing them. It's evil. You know it is evil.
You know it's evil because it is evil. You tell them don't say this. You know it's evil.
You know it's evil. So desist from it, and justice should be served. We praise all those good police, the ones that are good,
that are doing
the right thing. The lawyers who are pursuing justice, the judges who are also rendering justice in the system,
activists, the people that are making sure that nobody forgets about these cases.
We salute you for all the good things that you are doing. You are the good citizens of Nigeria. For the rest of you, by association, you are doing this thing. Either you are leaving comments, or you are having small side talk,
or you are the invisible hands in the system.
Or you are sharing videos of victims in their vulnerable states.
Your time.
You don't know that is illegal. It's highly illegal.
Your time is wrong. This video, there are 3 things we've been able to educate you. Sexual violence, rape culture, and consent. if you do not take anything, know that sexual violence comes in different forms. Know that consent has to be consensual and ongoing.
Verbal.
All parties, verbally.
And must be sober.
Which
means nothing like alcohol
nothing
or
like
drug related.
or drug related. The person has to be conscious and aware of what is being done at all times. Number 3, the rape culture in Nigeria is toxic. And we need to do better.
Yes. That's all we have to say.
If you have anything left that we have not said, let us know in the comment section. Remember to subscribe to this channel.
For common sense.
It is for your own good. Remember to like this video.
And remember to share the
video because this is very, very educative.
And leave your thoughts about this topic in the comment section.
Today is all we have, and we've given you everything. What we have said,
we have said, and it is finished.
It's finished. We don't claim that we know everything, but this little one that we have, we must tell you about it.
And make sure you check out the links in the description.
Yeah.
Go and read about those stories.
And read more.
Yes,
it's good
read about those stories.
Okay?
That's and then, until we see you next time, may common sense never depart from you.
Bye.
Bye.